and welcome to my video. My name is Mrs. English, and today we will be learning about unnecessary shift in tense. What is verb tense? Verbs come in three tenses: past, present, and future. Present tense is what's happening right now, like I cook. Past tense is what's already happened in the past, I cooked. And future tense is what has not happened yet, I will cook. So, why does consistent verb tense matter? Verb tense gives the reader a clear sense of time in a piece of writing. If the verb tenses, past, present, or future, are inconsistent, the reader is confused about when the story takes place, either in the past or the present. Writers do choose to shift verb tense in writing, but with a very clear purpose, usually to flash back in time or to indicate that time has shifted in a story. Authors who use these techniques are well practiced and shift verb tenses intentionally. Now, let's go over a few examples of consistent verb tense. Here's a passage from John Green's Paper Towns, taken from page 23. I went home. I ate 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches as an early dinner. I watched poker on TV. My parents came home at 6, hugged each other, and hugged me. We ate a macaroni casserole as a proper dinner. They asked me about school. They asked me about prom. What do you notice about this passage? Is it clear when the story is taking place? Why does it matter that the verb tenses are consistent? The underlined verbs are in the past tense, and they are consistent throughout the passage. Because of this consistency, the reader is not confused about when the story takes place. The narrator is discussing events that have already happened. That's past tense. If the author had used inconsistent verb tense, the reader may be confused about whether or not the story or events took place in the present tense or the past. Let's talk briefly about verb tense and dialogue. Let's look at another passage from Paper Towns by John Green, from page 23. You just gotta tell her, man, I said. You just gotta say, Angela, I really like you, but there's something you need to know. When we go to my house and hook up, we'll be watched by the 2,400 eyes of 1,200 black Santas. Radar ran a hand through his buzz cut and shook his head. Yeah, I don't think I'll put it exactly like that, but I'll deal with it. What is different about this passage? The dialogue in this example is in the present tense because it is exactly what the characters were saying in the moment, right now. Since the narrator is telling you about past events, the verbs that are not part of the dialogue are in past tense: said, ran, shook. The narrator is retelling what was already said. In other words, both characters use present tense in the dialogue because the event is happening as they speak. The narrator uses the past tense when referring to the conversation because it happens in the past. Now it's time for a little practice. Your teacher will now hand out the verb tense Mandarin worksheet. Please pause the video to fill it out. After you fill it out, read it out loud. Are your verb tenses consistent? Which tense, past or present, did you choose and why? Fill out the same passage again, using the opposite verb tense. Feel free to pause the video now. Read this one out loud too. What do you notice about the way it sounds when using different verb tenses? Now, some observations. Authors intentionally use the same verb tenses to make meaning clear in their work. You may have noticed that the examples used in this video are written in past tense. Why do you think the author chose to use it in their writing? Writers often choose to use past tense because it is more realistic to the reader and it is more believable to retell a story than to tell the story as it is happening, present tense. We tell stories all the time. Think about which tense you use the most. Do you tell a story as it is happening, present tense? Or are you retelling the story, past tense? I have included a quick guide for verb tenses. Note that for our purposes, this guide is only for regular verbs. Today we learned Verb tense consistency is important because it gives the reader a clear idea of meaning and time in a piece of writing. Writers choose their verb tenses intentionally, and consistent verb tense makes the writing smooth and easy to understand. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a great day.